Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now October 10th of 2023, and we are nearing closer and closer to the official debut of the Snow White 2024 trailer. They are actually setting it up for the holiday season of this year, so expect it to drop around the middle to late November at the earliest, and at the latest within December, alright? So that's overall, Disney's game plan right now for the marketing campaign to kick off for Snow White, the live-action remake. However, there's a lot of things going on with actress Rachel Zegler behind the scenes, between herself, her team, and the Disney heads. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Rachel Zegler is that we know that she really was unleashed well over a year ago, where all those interviews just recently went viral, that really just destroyed whatever was left of Disney's image, even if they had a little bit of an image left, right? That's really a very big debate right now. But what's interesting about this further has a lot to do with what is going on between Zegler, her team, and the Disney heads, and exactly what really happened with her overall status as an actress affiliated with the current Snow White film, and why it really spells doom not just for this movie, but also for the marketing of the film and the build up to the release of this movie that Bob Iger, by the way, keeps on insisting that this is going to be a very successful film that's going to make a lot of money, so to speak. So, let's get into the actual specifics, shall we? Now, on top of all of that, with Disney still dealing with the fallout and backlash for Snow White 2024 and Rachel Zegler, one major development and update has to do with the actress. As it turns out, Disney made a final decision recently, regardless of previous negotiations by Zegler and her team, that she has been banished from the world premiere of Snow White and that they have completely cancelled a significant gig that she was signed up for. As it turns out, Zegler was chosen to sing a magical song for Snow White, a song that would promote the film by including some members of the cast on the stage. Rachel was indeed locked in to sing a song from the second act of the film that focuses on rising to become a leader, and becoming the leader that you need to be. This presentation was completely axed by Disney as a consequence of Zegler going off script of what she was able to say about Snow White and the original film. Which, by the way, in case you are out of the loop, what she was not allowed to say was the whole thing about Andrew Burnap and calling the prince a stalker from the 1937 original, because Disney realized that really drove a lot of families away from Disney. It caused a lot of families to boycott Snow White 2024, and it's only getting worse as time rolls by. Now, what's even more alarming for Disney and their sake is the fact that they don't know what to do with the presentation that was supposed to be the big main event at the world premiere of Snow White. They cannot find a single person that wants to present for Snow White 2024. They turned heads at Gal Gadot some weeks ago. She shot that down. Her agent and manager bounced back that info back to Disney. They want nothing to do with that. And this is where things get even more difficult. So let's dive into this further. So, she tarnished whatever image was left for Disney, and they decided to take action. Though Rachel is now currently banished from the world premiere, losing her, of course, singing gig and press interviews in a shocking turn of events, she was also supposed to also sing a second song with actress Gal Gadot on stage to close the world premiere before all attendees would leave. Now, here's the kicker about all of this. This is all related strictly to the world premiere from what it seems. Alright, she's still locked in to do some interviews here and there on late night television such as Jimmy Kimmel, and we know that Jimmy Kimmel is going to be one of the main guys to promote Snow White, the live-action remake. And we all know why, because ABC runs the show, and who owns ABC? Well, Disney, That's how it all rolls. So this is where matters get even more intense, is that we know that Rachel Zegler is using her agent and manager and some of her dear cast members or her friends, whatever she calls them, that she got very close with, such as Jennifer Lawrence and Peter Dinklage. We talked about this just a couple of days ago, about how they are going to stand by Rachel's side when she makes a massive statement once the SAG strike ends. She is going to combat and snap back at the general public for criticizing this film and herself as an actress and what she said about Snow White and defending what she said. Not just that, but she's also going to go against the studios that let go of her roles. This ranged from WB to Disney to Universal to even DreamWorks. I mean, it spans pretty much almost all of Hollywood. Now, down the path even further, this too was axed as far as that song goes between herself and Gal, and it was going to be an original song, get this, by Zegler, not connected to Snow White, that she reportedly wrote the song herself and put it together. A simple song between Gal, Rachel, and a guitar. Completely cancelled, where now Zegler and her team are desperate trying to reason with Disney in an attempt to reinstate these opportunities at the world premiere. However, Disney is not budging and wants to stand their ground to protect whatever image they have left once the SAG strike ends. These conversations between Zegler's team and Disney are aimed to become more forward and intense over time before the release of the film. Disney is still struggling to find an actress to sing at their world premiere as a result of banishing Rachel Zegler. The original song, get this, by Zegler was also supposed to play over the end credits of Snow White that has now been completely removed and deleted from the current cut of the film altogether by the editors, as instructed by Disney. So, not only did she lose many gigs at the world premiere, not only did she lose press interviews strictly for the world premiere, but she also lost a song that she reportedly wrote her own and presented by herself alongside Gal Gadot from appearing in the end credits for audiences to hear in the Snow White 24 film, which, by the way, is still slated for that March of 2024 release date window. Now, here's the bigger problem at play, is that Rachel and her team are relentless. They are still trying to negotiate with Disney. They are still trying to reason with them. And they are going to take things up a notch once the SAG strike comes to a close, because then Rachel can really deal with them directly more so, instead of just using her agent and manager and her team as kind of like the middle people, right? Kind of like bouncing information back and forth. This drama is so large, it is rattling throughout Disney, it is rattling throughout Hollywood, and it's not looking good in the least for Snow White's world premiere. I think it's going to be a disaster. We already know that the Indiana Jones 5 world premiere was a disaster where Kathleen Kennedy practically got mocked, either inadvertently or on purpose, by Steven Spielberg. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he definitely did snub Kathleen Kennedy at many points in time. So I think it's going to be right up there. It's going to be on the same exact level, if not worse, of that world premiere. And it's really not going to be good at all for Snow White in the general sense. So anyway, guys, drop a comment below. Fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. And I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.